Important announcement from HDFC Bank. A giant interest rate for your fixed deposit that you deposit this month. Enjoy special interest rates based on deposit amount and the government security. Call 0718 800 999. HDFC.
In a few moments, the news.
A giant interest rate for your fixed deposit that you deposit this month. Enjoy special interest rates based on deposit amount and the government security.
This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The time is 6:15. Here is the news, edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe, read by Victor Raj. Let's take a look at the headlines of the local news. MP Vasudeva Nanaikara says the public servant should be made proficient in all three languages. MP Pramita Bandara Thinnakon points out that the present government has prepared the background for the public servants to work without fear. MP Anurupa Dasnayapa says that a successful budget has been presented to suit the present situation in the country. The experts' reports of recommendations of the tremor near Kandy handed over to the Minister of Environment. Foreign news, French business morals hit 5-month low on new lockdown. Sports news, American football all-black team officiate match in historic first for the competition. Local news in detail. Today is the second day of the committee stage budget debate. Expenditure accounts of the Ministry of Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs, Public Services, Provincial Council and Provincial Administration, State Minister of National Heritage, Performing Arts, Folk Artists, Promotion Affairs and Provincial Council and Administration were debated today. Taking part in the debate, plays in the Vasudeva Nanaikara said that the public servant should be made proficient in Sinhala, Tamil and English languages. MP Geeta Kumarasinghe, taking part in the debate, said that steps should be taken for the benefit of the artists in all fields, including film hall owners. MP Varuna Liyanage requested to make permanent the employees of local bodies who have not been made permanent. MP Pramita Bandara Thinnakon pointed out that the present government has presented the background for the people, public servants, to work without fear. MP Asoka Priyantha said that steps should be taken to further strengthen local government bodies. MP Vasantayapa Bandara pointed out that an annual fund should be allocated for Devala in rural areas and an elephant pool should be established with the aim of getting them to participate in processions. MP Uddika Premaratna said that films have a major impact on human thoughts. He further said that the film industry should be developed again. Taking part in the debate, MP Tulip Bedarachi requested the document the leaders of Uvavillas rebellion of the Hambantota district. He also requested to recommence archaeological excavations in Hambantota district. MP Diana Gamage said that a lottery should be launched to step up fund for artists. MP Anura Priyadarshana says that a successful budget has been presented by the government to suit the present situation in the country. He pointed out that general election has to be postponed due to the pandemic. Therefore, the government has not able to present the budget for this year. He said that the opposition did not allow to present a vote on account on expenditure since the government was a minority group. During a media briefing today at the Podujana Peramuna Party office, he said that as a result, the government has to present 2 budgets by the end of this year. The 13 officers of the Police Narcotic Bureau who were arrested for their illegal involvement with the drug dealers have been further remanded until the 7th of December. The case was taken up before Colombo Magistrates Court today. The Colombo Chief Magistrate Mohammad Mehal has dismissed the preliminary objections raised by the defence. Deputy Solicitor General Dilip Papiris, who represented the Attorney General's department, informed the court that sufficient evidence has come to light to prove the suspects were involved with the internationally operating traffickers to smuggle in drugs into the country via sea routes. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
A giant interest rate for your fixed deposit that you deposit this month. Enjoy special interest rates based on deposit amount and the government security. Call 0718 800 999.
More local news. The Ratana Sutra chanting organised by the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation takes place this evening from Godakavila Sri Mahinda Mahaviharaya. The Ratana Sutra chanting will be held under the guidance of the chief monk of the temple, Venerable Kunapitiye Susila Thero. It will be broadcast at 6:30 p.m. over SLBC's Sinhala Commercial Service, City FM and General Services. Discussions have been held on the measures to be taken to send for Korean employment delayed due to the coronavirus pandemic. The discussion was attended by State Minister Priyanka Jayaratne, Secretary to the Ministry of Foreign Employment Promotion and officials of Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau. Discussions took place on sending those who passed the examination for Korean development in batches and steps that should be taken by the government to conduct PCR tests and quarantine measures. Officials of Sri Lanka Embassy in Korea also took part in the discussion. The expert report of recommendations of the mild tremor near Kandy on 18 November has been handed over to the Minister of Environment, Mahinda Amravira. The tremor affected Alutwata, Ambakote, Digana, Mailapitia, Anuragama and Haragama areas in Kandy districts. According to the report, although limestone is abandoned in the area, it is not possible to attribute the tremors to limestone quarrying. But further scientific research is needed, regardless of suggestions of comments. The minister said that a comprehensive program would be launched for the protection of not only Victoria Reservoir but all reservoirs. The minister further said that the expert report has pointed out that the dam of the Victoria Reservoir has not been affected due to the recent earthquake. That ends local news.
An important announcement from HDFC Bank. A giant interest rate for your fixed deposit that you deposit this month. Enjoy special interest rates based on deposit amount and the government security. Call 0718 800 999. HDFC.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vedha Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedha Mahatmya.
465 corona-infected persons left the hospitals today after recovering from the virus. Accordingly, the number of patients recovered from the COVID-19 has increased to 14,962. 5,456 are undergoing medical treatment at hospitals. The total number of infected persons at present is 20,508 and 90 deaths have been reported. That ends main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedha Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Moving on to Watchlight, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has issued an extraordinary gazette establishing 2 new ministries. They were Ministry of Public Security and Ministry of Technology. The Public Security Ministry is tasked with ensuring public safety while maintaining law and order by creating an environment suitable for citizens to live freely. The Technology Ministry will establish digital governance services to effectively manage the health, education, welfare, public services and business sector. That ends Watchlight. Moving on to world news, let's take a look at the headlines. French business morale hits a 5-month low on new lockdown. Defense Minister says Russia caught U.S. warship in its waters. European Union calls for Afghan ceasefire. World news in detail. A survey showed today the French business confidence dropped in November to a 5-month low as the country entered a new coronavirus lockdown, hitting the services sector particularly hard. INSEE, the official state agency, said its monthly business climate index fell to 79 from 92 in October, the lowest reading since June, when France was still emerging from its first lockdown. Russia's defense minister said today that the Russian warship caught the U.S. Navy-guided missile destroyer USS John S. McCain operating illegally in Russia's territorial waters in the Sea of Japan, but chased it off Moscow, and that the Admiral Vinogradov, a Russian destroyer, had verbally warned the U.S. ship and threatened to ram it in order to force it to leave the area. The European Union Foreign Policy Chief called today for an immediate ceasefire in Afghanistan and said that any move to set up an Islamic Emirate would affect the bloc's support. Joseph Borrell, EU High Representative, told the Afghanistan fundraising conference in Geneva that the ceasefire should not be an outcome of the peace process. It should accompany the process from today. Any attempt to restore an Islamic Emirate would have an impact on our political and financial engagement. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. French business morale hits a 5-month low on new lockdown. Defense Minister says Russia caught U.S. warship in its waters. European Union calls for Afghan ceasefire. That ends world news. Moving on to development news. Tokyo Cement Company Lanka recently entered into an investment expansion agreement with BOI, reflecting their appreciation towards the government's far-sighted discussion to encourage the local manufacturing sector. The company recently announced plans to increase the local production capacity by a further 1 million metric tons with an investment of $12 million. That ends development news. Moving on to sports news. American football, an all-black team officiated an NFL match for the first time in the competition's history. Referee Jeremy Bogle led his 6-man crew in Monday's 27-24 win over the Los Angeles Rams against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bogle said he is proud of my heritage and excited about my participation in this historic game. The 65-year-old, who took charge of Super Bowl, has been an official for 17 years. That ends sports news.
Empower your dreams with NSV Wings. NSV Wings, recharge the high goals.
Business news, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Embassy of Sri Lanka in Turkey and the Sri Lankan Export Development Board jointly organized a webinar and a business networking session last week in collaboration with the Turkish Economic Relations Board. More than 85 participants attended the webinar. 3 separate matchmaking sessions were also arranged for Sri Lankan and Turkish participants for the product and services sector. That ends business news.
Business news, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The wait is over, and it's time for you to experience happiness. It's time to remap the graph for success. It's time to rebuild your empire. It's time to initiate your entrepreneur dreams. Empower your dreams with NSB Wings. Get your 2-year personal loan for just 7% per annum, starting from 500,000 rupees to 10 million rupees. All you need is just one guarantee. NSB Wings. Reach out the high goals.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta, did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Headline inflation as measured by the year-on-year change in National Consumer Price Index increased to 5.5% in October 2020 from 6.4% in September 2020. This was due to the statistical effects of the high base prevailing on October 2019. Meanwhile, food inflation increased to 10.6% on October 2020 from 12.7% in September 2020. Non-food inflation increased marginally to 1.5% in October 2020 from 1.4% in September 2020. That ends economic news.
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Moving on to weather report, the Met Department says the cyclonic storm NOV over southwest Bay of Bengal is located near today, 325 kilometers to the east of Kankasanture coast. It is very likely to intensify into a severe cyclonic storm and expected to move to northwestwards and across Tamil Nadu coast, India during next 36 hours. Under the influence of this system, very strong gusty winds up to 70 km per hour can be expected in northern, eastern and north-central provinces. Strong gusty winds of 50 km per hour can be expected elsewhere. Showers or thundershowers will occur at times in northern and north-central provinces and Putlam district. Heavy falls above 75 mm are likely at some places. Showers will occur at several places in western and sub-Ragaman provinces. Showers or thundershowers may occur at few places in Ubud province. That ends weather report. To wrap up the evening news on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines once again. MP Vasudeva Nanakar says the public servants should be made proficient in all 3 languages. MP Pramita Bandar Tennakon points out that the present government has prepared the background for the public servants to work without fear. MP Anura Priyadarshan says that a successful budget has been presented to suit the present situation in the country. The experts report recommendations of the tremor near Kandy handed over to the Minister of Environment. Foreign news, French business moral hits a 5-month low on new lockdown. Sports news, American football. All black team officiate a match in historic first 4 competition.